After the unexpected success I saw with the Amber videos from the show Invincible talking about her character, I was very reluctant to jump into this next topic because I didn't want another video right off the bat revolving around race. However, I've avoided it, I've put it off, and it now has to be addressed, and it is something I'm sure all of you are well aware of already, but it's Black Superman. Now, boom, I've said it. Some of you, a small percentage I'm sure, are probably already mad, and you're going to leave harsh comments and do what you got to do, and that's fine. You know, that's what happened with the Amber video. Most of you, the vast, overwhelming majority, were actually really cool, and we had great discussions, so I'd like to see that again. But I'm not even going to talk about my thoughts necessarily on, the Black Superman movie coming up, because there are so many other YouTube videos out there talking about this, and guess what? The vast majority of them are coming from black comic book fans, and they fucking hate this idea. I just listened to Tyrone Magnus. Dude's got 1.9 million subscribers, videos over 300,000 views, and he's talking about the Black Superman, and he does not support it. Just Some Guy, another black gentleman, I'm a big fan of his channel. He thinks it's fucking stupid. Young Rippa 59, Eric over there, another black gentleman. He fucking thinks it's stupid. He is so vocal and so adamant about how much he hates race-swapped characters and tokenization, and he makes really valid points. The Ath Geek, haven't watched it. Pretty sure he's going to say he fucking hates this idea. The Cool Section, another black gentleman. I'm watching his video. It's actually the first one I saw of his channel. It was quite entertaining. He fucking hates this idea. So, why does everyone hate this idea? Why are all these black gentlemen so against this fucking idea? Well, it's because it's not just that they're making a black Superman, it's that they're making a black Clark Kent. They're taking a character who's already one of the most iconic names and, visually, it's a visual medium, comics and film, so names and faces ever in this medium, and they're changing it. Now, okay, why does that piss people off so much? Because there's other black characters, specifically Black Superman, that Warner Brothers could use, and they could make an excellent movie expanding on one of these lesser-known characters, but instead they want to go and they want to try to cash in with the name Clark Kent. But also, and I'm going to get to this in a minute, I think it's more of a statement than anything. Okay, well, fuck it, we'll just jump right into it. Ta-Nehisi Coates is the writer. He's writing the screenplay for this film. J.J. Abrams is the producer. And if you know anything about Ta-Nehisi Coates, it's no surprise that he is doing this to make a statement. He wants you and me to be upset about this. And guess what? It's working, because most of the fans, and as I said, most of the black fans who are actually hardcore DC fans and follow the comics and the fandom and the lore, they are upset. Why? Because, okay, there is a Superman. His name is Calvin Ellis. He's from a different universe, he's from a different universe in the DC multiverse, but he is Superman in that universe. Dude is actually based on fucking Barack Obama, and he's the president of the United States, and he's also Superman. All right, that's one they could explore. Let's move on to another one. Val Zod. Val Zod is another Superman from the lore who's already established. He's been around for a little while now. They could take him and expand on his character and give us a totally unique story and open people's eyes to this new character and, really do whatever the hell they want with it, okay? Who's another one that a lot of people have been talking about? Icon. Icon isn't a Superman, but, by that actual name, but he is a super-powered DC figure, and he's a, huge muscular black guy who's not as fast, but he's just about as powerful as Superman in a lot of ways. And then the other one, last one, who I actually think would be the coolest. No, I take that back. Not the coolest, but I'm really intrigued by it. Steel. Steel's a character. He's an engineer who made a mechanized suit to replicate Superman's powers, and he was going to try to replace Superman when Superman was killed, and then Superman was resurrected, and they, to my knowledge, became allies. They did make a Steel movie back in the day, in the 90s. I want to say, it was something weird, like Shaq or somebody was in it. I'm going to take a quick look. And it was not good. Yeah, Shaquille O'Neal played Steel. It was not good, But again, I mean, like, think of how far we've come with our comic book adaptations for film. You know, the 90s had some awful stuff, and then, you know, now we can do really phenomenal stuff. So there's just a few. I mean, and the list goes on, but this is just if you're talking about already established black, quote, supermen. So there's a bunch that, you know, could be explored. Now, one argument is, well, they want to take a character that's really established because, you know, they don't want to take a chance about, you know, not making profit and whatever and blah, 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 blah. No, that's a fucking bullshit excuse, because go back to 2008. You had Robert Downey Jr., who was a good actor with a rough track record in his personal life. And then you had Iron Man, who was a fictional superhero from Marvel that, if you were into the comics, you knew who he was. I know when I was a kid, I always see that, like, I would see the toys at the store and I thought it was really cool, but I didn't know shit about Iron Man. But most people in mainstream didn't know anything about Iron Man. But Robert Downey Jr. Played Iron Man, and you had Jon Favreau directing and probably, I think, writing as well. So you had good writing, good directing. You actually had a really good casting choice. And fast forward, it kickstarted the biggest film franchise of all time, and you know, which eventually went on to break huge records. And Iron Man's like iconic worldwide now. Why could they not do something like that with a black character who is already established in the lore as a black individual? Why do you have to palette swap, you know, and color swap? And you're not making anyone happy. Like I said, most of the fans fucking reject this. Most of the fans hate this. And I am talking about the black fans. Many, many, many of the black fans hate this concept. They hate this idea. I brought this up the other day at work to people who don't follow comics and shit nearly as much as I do, if at all. But I just said something about, oh yeah, they're making a black Superman. And mind you, I work with a incredibly diverse lineup of people, and everybody was just like, what the fuck? Why would they do it? Well, specifically when I said black Clark Kent, that's when they were all like, ugh, what the hell? Because people just don't understand it, and it comes off as very pandery and very gimmicky and very insincere, which it is. It's a virtue signal, and like I said, it's part of an agenda, and they're trying to stir some shit up. Like I said, Ta-Nehisi Coates, he is writing a black Clark Kent just to make a statement and make people upset, and I promise you, this film will fail. This film will do very poorly, because most people are going to boycott it. Most people are going to reject this, and it has nothing to do with the fact that it's a black protagonist, a black main character. It's the fact that it's Clark Kent, and people are already familiar with Clark Kent. They've grown up and they've heard him and seen him in different, you know, forms of media. And then now this is just, it just seems very insincere. And especially Henry Cavill playing Superman, playing Clark Kent, he's very liked by the fans. He does a great job. He looks the part. He's beyond impressive, you know, as a Superman, as a Clark Kent. And not only is he fit for the role, but he's also, like, this is not an old thing. It's not like, oh yeah, you know, 20 years ago, Henry Cavill played Superman, and now we need a new one. Like, this is so fucking fresh, especially with the Snyder Cut that just came out. So, anyway, this movie will absolutely fail. This movie is going to be, it's way too much of a political statement. And I'm on HollywoodPorter.com right now, and I'm reading about it. And it's talking about J.J. Abrams producing. Ta-Nehisi Coates is going to be writing the screenplay, as I said. And then people are trying to figure out who the director's going to be. And some people were speculating maybe it'll be J.J. Abrams, but they said they're looking for a black director to tackle it because it'll be the first cinematic incarnation of a black Superman. And if they put J.J. Abrams as the director, it would come out as being, quote, tone deaf. But what they don't realize is this entire fucking plan is tone deaf, because yes, they're trying to make a racial political statement, but they're pissing off the people that would typically go and spend their money on this. So they're saying fuck you to all the fans, basically, regardless of color, just to make a statement. Now, this article goes on and it talks about how they're going to be competing. This movie's going to be competing with Blade. Marvel's making a new Blade. Now, Blade is going to fucking destroy the Black Superman movie when it comes to the box office, or, whatever they're going by now with streaming shit. But the reason I say that is because, number one, Blade... Oh, shit. There's so many reasons. Number one, we haven't seen a Blade movie in years since Wesley Snipes did the Blade trilogy. So it's been a long time. So it makes sense to reboot Blade. Whereas, like I said, we just finished Superman. Number two, Blade has been black from the moment he was ever created in comics. People are familiar with him being black. They expect him to be black. And they're not doing it as this cheap stunt. They're doing it because that's who the character is. That's what the character has always been and, should always be. So that's two. And then three, Mahershala Ali is going to be playing Blade, and he's a fucking phenomenal actor. I really liked him in Alita Battle Angel. I really liked him in True Detective. I'm trying to think. There's a couple other things I've seen him in, and I was very impressed. But even Wesley Snipes, I'm pretty sure, said, yeah, this guy's going to be awesome as Blade. So that's pretty cool to get the blessing from Wesley Snipes himself. But yeah, they think they're going to be competing with Blade. I guarantee you, all the people that are pissed off at the DC Ta-Nehisi Coates bullshit are absolutely going to drop the $30 to watch Blade come out on, Disney Plus or however that ends up being. That won't be for a little while now. And, people are talking about if the new Superman movie can cash in on the Black Panther money. That's what people say. Now, Black Panther was directed by Ryan Coogler, who is a black gentleman, and it did very well. The story was good. The casting was excellent. You had Chadwick Boseman. He was phenomenal. Unfortunately, he's not with us anymore, but... they had a really good team. Visually, it was good. The writing was good. The music was good. And obviously it was part of a much bigger multiverse, or a much bigger franchise, rather. But they're like, oh yeah, we're going to cash in on that. No, you're not, because you're doing a cheap, fucking disgusting gimmick, DC and Warner Brothers, and you're going to piss people off. You've already actually pissed a lot of people off. Now, it's funny, when we don't know who's going to be playing Superman, the new Black Clark Kent, but... it was thrown around a lot where people were speculating like, oh, it's probably going to be Michael B. Jordan. I'm a huge fan of Michael B. Jordan. I've been a fan of Michael B. Jordan since I saw Chronicle way back in the day. I think it was like 2012 it came out. That was incredible. I was a fan of the Creed movies. I liked him in Black Panther as Killmonger. He's done a number of really impressive things. The dude looks the part. He's a very good-looking guy. He's in incredible shape. He looks like a superhero, or in Killmonger's case, a supervillain. He would be, aesthetically, visually, and as far as acting goes, he'd be a phenomenal Superman. But, again, he could be Calvin Ellis, he could be Val Zod, he could be Steel, he could be one of the other ones. In any of those, I guarantee you people would line up to see it. If you brought Michael B. Jordan as a black Superman, one of the three I just mentioned, not Clark Kent, people would go nuts. People would absolutely love to see him in that role. He'd be so convincing. And I guarantee you that movie would do phenomenal. It would do absolutely phenomenal if the writing was good. But when they asked Michael B. Jordan, hey, are you going to be, a lot of speculation about if you're going to be playing Superman in the new movie, are you going to do that? And he said, hey, I really appreciate that everybody has been considering me for this and keeping me in mind, but I'm actually... I'm going to be, I can't find the exact quote right now, but he said, I'll just be watching, I'm just going to be on the sidelines watching this one. Now, maybe he's busy with something else, which, it totally makes sense. He's very much in demand right now. But I think on top of that, one big thing is that whoever his manager or agent, whoever helps him make his business decisions, I guarantee you, if this person is worth their fucking paycheck at all, I guarantee you they pulled him aside and said, hey, Michael, this is a bad move to get involved with this because it's going to be highly controversial, and I think you should sit this one out. And again, that is my own speculation. That's my own guess. I don't know if that's true or not. But if that is true, if his team said, hey, I know it'd be a cool opportunity, but now is not the right time, you should sit this one out because this is going to be, a smudge on your career. Those people deserve a raise because absolutely, this movie is going to tank. I know we're talking about very different budgets here with the, writing and special effects and stuff, but just look at what DC's doing with the Batwoman TV show right now. They're making it incredibly, overly racially charged and politically focused. And I don't watch the show. I would never, ever watch the show. But I love listening to the videos every week, just talking about how the ratings somehow, some way, even when you expect it would, it couldn't even happen anymore. The ratings keep dropping and the show keeps getting stupider and stupider. And somehow it was renewed for a third season. I don't know how they're profiting on this at all, other than, virtue signal points. But wise move for Michael B. Jordan to sit this one out. Like I said, I just listed a whole bunch of other channels from other creators, and I only listed black creators on YouTube that are, people who are really into the fandom and really into the lore and into these characters, and they reject this, they hate this, they think this is, it's leaving a bitter taste in a lot of people's mouths, and they see what Warner Brothers and Ta-Nehisi Coates are trying to do, and they don't like it. And this is going to blow up in their fucking faces. But if you, after everything I just said, if you disagree with me, let me know. If you think this movie is going to be great or you think Ta-Nehisi Coates is going to do something special, let me know. Throw it in the comments below. I would love to discuss it with you. Let's have an actual civil discussion and break this down and really dive into it, because that's what we did with the Amber video, and it was amazing. Had some really, really awesome conversations, and even people that I didn't even agree with ended up following me after because they were like, hey, I appreciate the fact that you're willing to discuss things and you're open-minded. So that meant a lot to me. But yeah, if you think I'm wrong, or even if you think I'm right, or something else I missed, let me know. Throw it in the comments. Let's dive into this. Like I said, I've put this off for a little while. I probably missed the window for this video to go big, but it is a little taboo, and I didn't want to jump right into it and have all my fucking videos race focused. But again, this is big news, and I had strong feelings on it, so it had to be done. All right, you guys are awesome. Like the video, subscribe, throw a comment down. Let's chat. Let's get into it. Talk to you later. Bye.